All right. Hey, H7, how are you doing? So we're going to re-pour over this. This is what I worked on quite a long time ago. So I thought today I'm going to mix a couple of colors up just to show how I mix my paint as well. So today I'm going to work with some Craft Smart Plum. And I just mix 1 part paint to 3 parts Floetrol. And maybe some water, maybe not any, because these are pretty thin. These don't usually need too much water. And this one is Craft Smart Hot Pink. And we're going to just paint right over this old canvas. And I just use Floetrol for my pouring medium. How are you doing, H7? We don't need too much because we have a lot just mixed up in the bottles. I'm just mixing a little bit here live on camera just to kind of show for those that were wondering. And see, some of the bloom pours, people are doing these gorgeous bloom pours, but they have all this other kind of expensive ingredients to them. And I do, it's similar, but much different, the bloom pours that I do. But they don't take any extra special ingredients. So now I'm just going to use the Floetrol. And you always want to strain your Floetrol and give it a good shake. So we did 1 part paint to 3 parts Floetrol. Hey, H7, how are you doing? So 3 parts Floetrol. It doesn't have to be exact. After you've done it quite a while, you kind of get to where you're just eyeball it and you know. And then you just mix that up really well. And that's what's kind of nice to have it all pre-mixed in your bottles like I usually do. And paint pouring is all about the consistency. And for a flower bloom or the blown flowers that I do the same consistency as I do for most 90% of my paint pours are the same consistency. So you want it to flow off the end very well. So this will need just a tad bit of water, just a tad. I mean, not even a quarter of a teaspoon, like just a few drops. And I use distilled water. All right. So you pick it up and you see if it flows off the end. And what I want it to do is kind of sit across the top, just barely, but not, it sinks right away, but I mean, it's across the top in a bead just for a second. And that's what you're looking for. So we'll mix these other ones up. Oh, and this color was Apple Barrel's Sunny Day. This yellow. How was your weekend? How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Chat's quiet today. And then it will also need just a tad bit of, not much though. And I just keep water in a squeeze bottle so you can easily get just a little bit. To move those down. Hey, Connie, how are you doing? So I'm going to do some blown flower blooms, and I'm just showing how I mix my paint. And it's 1 part paint to 3 parts Floetrol. And we haven't put any silicone in yet, but I'll show you that in just a moment. But you're going for the consistency of like melted ice cream, crepe batter, like sweetened condensed milk, warm honey, like kind of that kind of consistency. Hey, foraging seeker, how are you doing? How have you been? All right, so we got those ones mixed up. So now I'm just gonna base coat this one with, let me see, I think we'll do this China blue. It's this real light blue from Apple Barrel, and it's actually a discontinued color. All right, so it's going to be ornery on me. We got to get something to poke. Just a second, guys. I haven't used this one in a little while. I'm doing well. See, there's a big chunk in there. I haven't used this color in a little while. All right. Oh, and we got 1 drip in there, but that's okay. 1 drip won't alter the color too much. Just mix it in real good. All right, now we're going to go ahead. Hey, why did you retract that? I saw you were doing well. All right, let me grab a palette knife. Clouds are thin today. Sky is bright. It's a beautiful day here. Well, yeah, I guess we do have kind of a thin northwest, morning cloud cover. It'll probably burn off in a little bit. So H7, Nightbot. We were talking about Nightbot. I've had Nightbot working for some time, but only using like it to kind of help with I have certain words that I've got Nightbot helping with and things like that, helping ban spam and stuff like that. So I was looking on there after we were talking, and I was looking at the giveaway part. And yeah, that'll work. But it wasn't exactly what I'm thinking. I think what I need to do is figure out some of the widgets on the OBS. For an example, the channel that I'm wanting to kind of do a similar giveaway system is some of the coin channels do them. And so those channels are like Silver Seeker. He does one. But so he might be off of YouTube. He might be doing it on Twitch now. But okay, one that's here on YouTube, still doing YouTube, is Rob Finds Treasure. He's got a coin channel, and he does this like giveaway system where you get points and things. But hey, it's being ornery. I got to give it something to kind of focus on. Focus on this. Okay. It doesn't want to focus today. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, I'll be right back. Okay. You had a morning project? All right. All right. Go finish what you got to finish. Yes. Okay, so we have Spot On treadmill oil. So 100%, and we're going to put, you want to, a little goes a long way. I'm serious. A little bit goes a long way. So we're literally only going to put 2 drops in each of these. So, oh, that dang focus. I turned the autofocus off. So now it's just being, so you got to kind of give it something to focus on. And I thought having this kind of here would make it focus on that, but, and we just spilt the yellow. Okay, that's all right. We recovered most of it. That's all right. We make it work. All right, so some people say just barely. I just give it a few, good stirs. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few of them here. A few of the blooms, like maybe one kind of right there. And then this one will be kind of almost off the edge. All right. So yeah, I was able to schedule this one ahead of time, and I think I figured that out finally. So I'll be trying to get all of the live streams scheduled ahead of time. And then I hope to figure out getting some really cool giveaway ways of doing giveaways figured out. That would be fun. So there we got that now. So I just have like a piece of aquarium tubing. This one I've used a lot. So I just hold it pretty parallel to the canvas, not straight up, but pretty parallel. And I real lightly blow and feather it back and forth. And you can do those in different styles of flowers and different ways and stuff. I was just doing it this way to show you basics right now. I had a little bit of yellow dripped in there, so I just blowing it right off the edge. All right, catch my breath a little and go in for some more. So you just feather it back and forth for each kind of petal somewhat. And then you got to kind of catch your breath each time. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that one, let me wipe off. I've got a pointed palette knife. So let me get it wiped off. I see kind of a goober kind of in the paint. There we go. And no big deal. We can get that right out. All right, so now I have blown quite a bit of air bubbles in there, so more just popping the air bubbles than really needing more cell action. And so that's just with just a couple drops in each of the colors. You don't want to put too much silicone because it'll actually hinder your, if little bit goes a long way. If you put too much, it can actually stop the cells from coming up. Or you can get weird shapes that don't really stay together. They just kind of fall apart. So now I could, now you just kind of got to decide. You could put centers in them or put some of the yellow, you know, in the center. I'm just helping the edges a little bit. I'll help this edge that I got yellow on, help the yellow go right off the edge. So I was hoping Stacy, artsy fartsy lover, but she might see this later. So I'm going to go ahead and show, but I was hoping she would come in. Let me get this out of the way real quick, and I'm going to show you real quick what I was talking about. So there we go. There's some just really simple blooms. Let me set that aside, and I'm going to show you something. Stacy was wanting to see this one and how it had dried. It's that it'll focus and then bring it down. So this is all dried, and this is how it dried. Still having those cells within the cells and really nice cell structure. And so that's all dry with the shimmer, the gold shimmer and spots. But it does not have varnish on it yet. So the colors will even pop even more once it's varnished. But there's how it dried. Beautiful. All right. That's I always make up. I always say fantabulous. Oh, that's fantabulous. But I haven't heard that one. Beautiful. Colorful camouflage. Yes, this one turned out real nice. And that's, I mean, it dried a little bit darker, but not too bad. Mainly just in this blue, darker purple area. But I love how it dried. It dried great. So, all right, I'm gonna set that one aside. Thank you, guys. So I was thinking we could redo this one a little bit. What happened here is this, it just doesn't look symmetrical. I don't like it. So I was thinking we could maybe, I'm going to try not to just cover it. I'm going to kind of use what's there and kind of just layer on top of it kind of in a way. All right. Just a second. Let's get... Thank you. Very close. Now I am going to put a little bit of yellow. I like how the, excuse me, I like how the yellow kind of mixes with the purple too. All right, now we're going to do just the same, and we're going to see if we can kind of just layer some color right over the top of this other one instead of completely covering it. Okay, I can tell I'm going to do a little bit more. All right, just a little bit more. All right. The buildup is intense. This is somewhat experiment because I haven't just layered on a dry canvas before. So I've got some ideas how I'm going to do next a little bit differently. I can tell you one thing, on a dry canvas, it doesn't glide nearly as much across, and you have to blow so hard. Yeah, this was, oh, I needed to, I'll show you what I'm going to do in the next one. I have an idea. All right, just a second. I feel like I need just a tiny, 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 tiny bit, like more over here. I like it, but I think it needs to be layered even more once this is dry. I think it would be cool to see if I could kind of layer and layer and layer it up. But I'm going to try something new on this next one. So I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to try something new. So we got another one that I want to do over the top. But Floetrol dries clear. So instead of just doing it on a dry piece, let's see about putting a little bit of Floetrol. This is an experiment. We don't know how this is going to work. It's supposed to dry clear, so wouldn't that give us a little bit of kind of viscosity, but not, let me just use maybe one of these. Like something to kind of, some fluid to kind of get but it's supposed to dry clear, so it shouldn't cover up what we already have. So it looks very cloudy right now, but it should dry clear where we don't put more paint. Okay, so this is totally an experiment. So we've put so we give a little bit of fluid, and now we're going to go ahead and do a blown paint pour right on this. But it gives it, instead of on dry, it didn't really want to flow on that. Maybe if it's got some, I'm looking for the best, oh, maybe this color. All right. Now we'll see. I don't know. I hope I'm not having any internet issues. How's the stream, everyone? How's the stream? You love the yellow tendrils? All right. I don't think so. I don't know. We're just experimenting with some new stuff. I put Floetrol down as a base just to kind of see what happens. We'll see. Ah, now I stuck my end in the paint. And then on Friday or next Tuesday, I'll show you how this one dries, because I think it's going to be really telling more on how this one dries. I stuck my thing in the end of it a couple times. So let's see. I kind of wish I might even put another little bit. Goes, okay. Stream has been great. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Goes, well, okay. Good, good. All right. So see if we layer up a little bit. It might be fun. Let me show you. And the edges where it's kind of cloudy, Floetrol dries clear. So hopefully it'll dry clear, but I'll show you in a couple days how it does dry, and we'll see. We'll see how that experiment worked. Hey, I didn't see. A couple people snuck in on me. All right. Yes, H7. Oh, yes, the pant. Well, I clean them out every once in a while when I can. But hey, Dina, how are you doing? Hey, Roger, how are you doing? Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you. Welcome. So I have an old pour that was all right. It just was kind of boring. So I was just kind of seeing, we're just experimenting. And so I put a flood of Floetrol, and then I did a blown pour right over it. So the cloudy edges should dry clear. And so I'll show on a live stream in a couple days, and I'll show you how that'll turn out. But hopefully that'll be a nice experiment to know if we can do layering, kind of like in resin work where they layer it. But I'm wondering if using flooding it with Floetrol, since Floetrol dries clear, if that would work. Because we did this one, and I did not flood it with anything and just painted right on it. And it didn't flow very well because it was dry. So now I have this small, sorry about the focus there, guys. Let me focus my hand, and then also sometimes it helps to get that, and then it'll focus. So, hey, Creations by Baby Doll. Welcome, welcome. Oh, awesome. Yes, H7. If you want more paintings, let me know. I can do something custom, or you know where to find the Etsy. I've added a lot of things to my Etsy, and I've also discounted quite a few things in my Etsy. So you know where to look. And hey, H7, if you wouldn't mind, could you post the link real quick for me? The link to my Etsy, if you wouldn't mind. But it's okay if you can't, if you're not able to right now. But if you can, that would be awesome. So I am going to put a little bit of white and a little bit of blue and just kind of mix that together kind of for a background. So what's everyone up to today? I hope everybody's doing well. So there we go. We just kind of got a abstract with a little bit of blues and white. Thank you so much, H7. Thank you. So there's my Etsy, guys, and I have added a clearance section. And I'm adding new things every day. I'm going to add some of my art tiles where I've added a hanger on the back of them. I will be adding a few of those probably today. Oh, yes, Dina, I hope you feel better. Yes, I saw in Christina's live stream last night. You were mentioning you weren't feeling well. Are you feeling any better? I hope you're feeling a little bit better. That is no fun. All right, guys, I'm going to do a few here. And to you guys, it's going to kind of somewhat look upside down. Oop, so we'll do a little bit there. That's all right. So, yeah, in bed sick. That's no fun. No fun at all. Thank you, H7. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the aquarium tubing. And so for the last ones, I've done it I'm going to do this one not at straight parallel, but just kind of like a 45-degree angle. Work. So I probably crowded a few too many in there. You kind of lost the definition of them when I've crowded too many in there. But if I later put in some stems and put in just a few of the details with either a fine liner or just paint them in, then it kind of looks pretty cool. You can kind of see more of the detail. That air bubble just did not, it was stubborn. So kind of crowded maybe a few too many in that one. Hey, Mr. Doughboy, how are you doing? Yeah, it kind of like cherry blossoms. I do have another video with cherry blossoms where it looks more like with a branch and everything. So I will be doing some more more recognizable as cherry blossoms. But yeah, definitely some abstract cherry blossoms somewhat. Yeah, H7 definitely. So, all right, let me look around. Okay, I got another small canvas that I'd like to redo here. Let me grab it real quick. Sorry about it, went out of focus there. I saw that as I, all right, so here we have this canvas. And I wanted to show you guys this canvas specifically. So this is when I very, very first started pouring. So this is going back like 2014. I used glue in my mix. And when this for like 2 to 3 years had more definite cells. It's like the paint is broke down over the years with the glue. It's very, very weird how it but this is what my example for me in the Northwest with very moist, damp climate. What using pouring medium with using glue in your pouring medium after several years, what it looks like. So that's going back like 6 years when this was poured. So see how it's real funny looking. So. Oh, yes, Mike says, thanks for your generosity. Yes, for sure, Mr. Doughboy. Mike was telling me, thank you. That's awesome. That was very, very nice of you. But yeah, this is because you can use, like I use Floetrol in my mix, and I haven't had any problems with the Floetrol. But this is with Elmer's glue. And so for the first year or two, it looked great. But this is after time what the Elmer's glue has looked like after it has aged some. My mom has several cherry trees at her house. So beautiful. It's a very nice view of Mount St. Helens and cherry trees kind of with Mount St. Helens in the distance out at her house. But someday I want to go to Japan and check out the cherry blossom season there. That would be amazing. Yeah, Mr. Dove, I believe she messaged Mike as well. Yes, that's awesome. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and cover this one, guys. I've just got this China blue. And I'm not going to clean off the palette knife, so there's a little bit of white in there, but that's okay. We'll just use up that little bit of white, and it won't give much of a different effect. But you see a little bit of white marbled in. Just kind of helping it down the edges as well at the same time. But I've had quite a few people ask me how their paint pours hold up with the glue recipe. Well, that's the example, somewhat just one of many examples I have. And that's after 6 years what it looks like. So it doesn't look very nice after a while. Got to get back to work. Almost done for the day. Awesome. Awesome. He was priming a bunch of stuff. So once he gets the primer on, he is done for the day and heading home because he can't do much until the primer has dried tomorrow. Then he'll go back and finish the job. So, all right, just getting the edges. Let me just turn this around, get the edges on this side. Just about done here, guys, actually. This is my last one for the day. So, we're going to do one right there. One kind of off the edge. H7, what is up? You keep retracting your message just as I look up, just as I'm trying to read it. What are you trying to say? I can't read it that quick. All right, guys, I'm going to see if we can get this one. Not as crowded as that other one, maybe. Ah, dang it. See, I've kind of messed that one up, blowing it the other way, but that's okay. I'll show you just a minute. So then you can like a skewer or a popsicle stick and run it through and kind of play with it. I'm trying to get a skewer real quick. Then I get 5. But yeah, you can kind of just if you want to give it more of a definition. Pile of labor to complete as well. Much love, Foraging Seeker. Much love. I'm getting off of here as well. I have a pile as well. A pile of stuff to get done. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, especially when you're so busy. Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day and the rest of your week and all that good stuff. Enjoy this beautiful weather we're having right now. So, okay, guys, you can kind of see. So I put the paint down at the same time as all of them. But you can kind of see this one here, the paint has kind of sunk down, and that's why we get that lighter feathery look. So you can wait just a minute and you let your paint sink down and you'll get that look if you're going for that. I kind of like when you get the different variations in the same one. We got some fun kind of cells where I thought I had said, well, I kind of made a mistake, but it kind of made some cool looking cells right there where I blew back the wrong way. All right. Yeah. Thank you, H7. Thank you. On Tuesdays, I'm going to try to have like a themed where I'm doing kind of showing how a certain technique or a certain theme to the kind of a tutorial based live stream. And then on Fridays, it's kind of more freestyle, and you guys get to pick the colors and all that on Fridays. Oh, you got a dumping of snow coming tomorrow night and Thursday. I don't think we're really going to have much of snow or anything this winter. I've kind of given up. We've had a couple of little tiny flurries, but nothing really substantial, and I think that's it. I don't think we are going to. So yeah, I'm trying to get kind of on a schedule with everything. Fridays are kind of freestyle. You guys get to pick the colors and such. And then with tomorrow, I've got a cool painting coming out. I already showed a picture on Instagram, but it's a totally different kind of abstract style for me. But yeah, so this one is actually already, the Floetrol is starting to dry, so we can kind of see that old pore peeking out from underneath. So I think that'll be fun to experiment with. I can see layering up might be a fun kind of thing to mess with. So I will definitely be messing with that. So yeah, but that's all the canvases and surfaces that I have ready for today. I think this one will be fun to layer some more as well. Another third or fourth layer to it. But been a mild snow season for you. Oh, okay. Um, Probably only about 4 feet this year. That's such a huge amount for us. We're lucky if we get 6 to 8 inches. But we're only at like maybe 900 feet sea level. So we're not, I mean, we're only maybe about, I think about 900 to 1,000 where we're at. So, but I enjoy a nice, good snowstorm. We just don't get them nearly as much as we did when I was a kid, at least. So, yeah. And so I'm also going to be doing a whole bunch more of these flower paintings and in different kind of varieties and shapes of flowers here coming up soon. But all right, guys, that was 45, 46 minutes already. That flew by. But I also have a heap of stuff I got to do, mainly just darn housework. Got to get the house cleaned up. So I got to get going, get some dishes done, laundry done, all those boring, boring stuff. So I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I hope you guys can hang out with me again on Friday. I'm going to try to, here in a little bit, I'll get that live stream already scheduled. So maybe you can get a reminder or something. But yeah, and I hope you guys all have an awesome rest of your week. You guys are all so awesome. Thank you for hanging out with me. And you have a great night too, Mr. Doughboy. You all have a great rest of your day. And be the change you want to see in the world. And much love, everyone. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. Well, I've pushed the button now. Why doesn't it pop up to end? There we go. Now it's popped up.